Hi neighbors, and welcome again to the Miracle Farm 1927 Homestead Kitchen. And today we're making a very special treat for my husband. It is his birthday, and I usually don't go through all this trouble during the year for this recipe, but because it's his birthday and this is his favorite thing, he'd rather have this more than cake. We are making fried apple pies, and these are from my very special friend Anna, who is Amish. She taught me how to make these, and so we're going to show you a few steps, and we will put the recipe down in the description. So go along with us, and we're starting with the apples that come straight up off of our tree. But you don't have to use these apples. You can use pie filling from the store that's already made if you want to, but we have apples, and these are better for you. Not that this is a good for you recipe, but anyway, we're going to use our apples in this recipe, and so right now all I'm doing is going to cut them up. So here on my table I've got my scrubbed apples. I've got a bowl of lemon juice and water, because these apples turn brown really quickly just because of the old-timey type that they are. And down here I've got some of my drying racks that go into my dehydrator, because I went ahead and took this extra time on these and actually scrubbed them so I could dry the peelings, because I'd like to have some apple flavored tea this winter. So we're getting more than one thing out of these apples. That's got a little bad place in it. Just lay them on your dryer. Now, clean up our board a little bit. I don't core them or anything. I just cut them in quarters. The reason I'm not using the apple core peeler slicer is because for fried pies, I like a little bit more of a chunky apple. And the apple core peeler slicer makes a real thin apple, which is perfect, you know, when you're making your applesauce and things like that, and you want the apples to break down. Apple butter, applesauce, any kind of apple jelly or anything like that. But for these, I want these in nice chunks. So I am not going to bore you to death watching me cut up apples. We'll come back after I've gotten several of them cut up. So I've got my last bowl of apples in, and this was a bowl that I've already got peeled and sliced, and this is the ones we're putting in the dryer. So I think you could tell the difference. These have just been sitting on this tray for just a few minutes. I just got up, just put the last ones on there, and they have not been treated in lemon juice because it doesn't matter because I'm putting them in the dryer. But these have the lemon juice in them. Can you tell the difference? See, those are really turning brown already over here. But that's what the lemon juice does. It keeps them from turning brown. But we're going to get started on this last bowl. Well, we're starting to make the fried pie filling. And all I've got in this pot is hot water, and it's boiling. I've got it up to boiling. And this is cornstarch, and it's dissolved in some cold water. And I'll put all the measurements down because I've made a whole lot more than you would need in just one batch. So all we're going to do, we got this at a rolling boil, and we've dissolved the cornstarch, and we're just going to pour it in the water. And if you got nice fresh cornstarch, it's going to immediately start thickening up. And that's what you want. See, it's already getting thick. Now, once it gets to the thickness you like, you can start adding the apples and the cinnamon. But if it doesn't get thick enough, all you have to do is add some more cornstarch in cold water. So this is a double batch, so I want to make sure it gets nice and thick. Still looks a little thin to me, so I may add just a little bit. So we've got our water, sugar, cornstarch, and cinnamon in here. And we've got it good and thick. So all we got to do now is pour in our apples. These are the same apples that were sitting in the lemon juice. I believe we got a pot full. So you're going to let this come back up to a boil. Now, the recipe calls for a certain amount of cinnamon and nutmeg, but I like a lot of cinnamon and nutmeg, so there'll be more going in probably. But that is your base for your fried apple pies. We're going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to set it, and we're going to make sure it's good and thick. It's going to thicken up some more, but I want to make sure. What we're looking for is this has got to stay, and it's still kind of runny, but bringing it up to a boil again is going to thicken it up some more. And if not, you just add more cornstarch in your water. We've got her back up to a boil. And I added some more cinnamon. I just didn't have enough cinnamon. And I did add some more cornstarch because for the fried pies, the gravy or whatever you want to call it needs to be thicker. And it'll thicken up after it cools. That's why I always cook the filling the night before. So it's come up to a boil. And we're going to simmer this just I cut it back down, and we're going to simmer it just a little bit more. But this is all done. This is all ready. I don't get my apples completely done. Tender crisp, I guess that's what you call it. And not mushy. You don't want them mushy because they got to cook again inside of the fried pie. And I got me a longer spoon, because when it bubbles, it might hit your arm. So to be safe, I got me a longer spoon, so like when they may splatter, and that will burn you. So we'll come back tomorrow and start working on the dough for the outside. Okay, we got the dough all mixed up, and all it is flour, shortening, egg, vinegar, and salt. So now it's stopped sticking to my hands, so I know it's about done. So it's ready to start making pies with.
We have a helper. He's as close to the kitchen as he could possibly be without being in the kitchen.
These guys have been doing a whole lot better. We let them out to free range, and you can see they are almost ready to harvest. But we've got the sorghum to do, so look at the waddling. So they're eating their breakfast. And we're going to go over here and milk Muffies. And they get a surprise today. They get to go out with the other two goats because we took the billy goat home yesterday. So these two girls get to go out to the big pasture. And we were putting them in the another big paddock, but they kept breaking into the billy, so they've had to go into smaller places. But today they get to go in with the other goats, so they'll be happy about that. See if we can get more of a picture of Muffies here. There we go. Been in the hay hutton, girl. Been rolling in it. Now Muffies is about 6 years old, and she has been milking since June. So her milk level has gone down, but she's still giving plenty enough. She's given about 1.5 quarts. And that is plenty for our family. We just don't have an abundance of milk. And today she gets to go out to the big pasture. And we will, Billy's gone, but we won't be breeding her until about late January, early February maybe, so she'll be having babies again in June. So we got our half-gallon jar, our funnel, and our strainer. Let's see how much she gave today. Well, she's about back up to half a gallon. Not quite, almost. That's great, because we need her to milk through November. So with this looking like this, it looks like we're going to have plenty of milk till the end of November, and that's what we really need. Some more. There's some more. Righteous decided to help me take them out so I could film. Come on, some more.
Good.
Here she comes. Here she comes. Come on, some more. Come on. Well, I'm going to go without you. You better come on. Come on, some more. Am I making you seasick walking? There's the kitty. And there's their buddies. Oh, they're missing each other. Oh my goodness. Everybody's got to say hi. Oh, show who's dominant. And the grass in here, this is October. It's fabulous. They'll get to stay in here for quite a while. Down there's where they were. And the other paddocks are looking good too. They're going to come up here and play King on the Mountain. Thank you for that, Righteous. Oh yeah, big King of the Mountain fight here. Hold that for a minute. Muffy's is queen. She's got to let everybody know that. S'more's got to let Snow know that she's queen too. Oh, they're really hurting each other. Yeah, Muffy's is having a little bit more trouble because Crummy is in her prime and Muffy's is getting a little older, but I think Muffy's still the queen. Oh, they're seriously hitting each other. See who gives up first. Well, they are still going at it. They're really hitting each other in the head.
Okay, so Snows give up. Nope, Muffy's not giving that position up. She got her purple bell and she knows she's queen. Well, to be continued.